wait till I get my money right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have Brett up on the screen. This is the 3-day price chart. Today, we're going to take a look at Altseason Waves 3, 4, and 5, which is what we are waiting on. So first things first, let's go ahead and get an Elliott Wave count here. We have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 here on Brett. Let me change the color real quick for you. Boom, and this thing does have some crazy wicks. I don't know if that's an API issue or a liquidity thing, but we're looking at the main body candle closes on some of these here for Brett when I'm looking at these waves. So first 5 waves up here, this does end up being the top. So if we look at the numbers up here, that high there, 0.23470. This high here, 0.234. So this is 0.00070 higher. So technically that is the top there. And what we had on the rundown here was a pretty simple ABC for Brett, taking us down back by these lows. We are, however, now looking, like I said, on waves 3, 4, and 5. We had our 1, we had our 2. Right now, kind of waiting slowly on 3, 4, and 5 to get us off into potentially new highs. We'll take a look here with fibs in a second, guys. But before I do that, join the Quantum Circle, entries, exits, strategy, emotional and mental clarity, 2 daily macro videos. That's just a little bit of what the Quantum Circle has to offer. Check that out, link in the bio. And guys, if you are not doing this through me, please do this through someone. Find someone you trust and invest in the education and learn how this stuff works. I know you guys have some ridiculous money in this, and you guys are taking some serious chances, and you're not doing it the right way. You need some help. You're on X looking for confirmation bias. Stop doing it. Join someone's group that you trust, whether it be mine or someone else. You should be making your money back hand over fist if they're doing it the right way. All right, enough of that. Brett, let's talk about where we're headed. I noticed I pulled this down from wave 1 to wave 2 there. If we do use these wicks, and bam, we got stopped out pretty much right at the 4236 of that range, right? So that range closed out. This 3rd to 4th range here, again, these wicks are pretty nasty. 3rd to 4th range there, we haven't closed anything out. That thing gets us up there around 77 cents. All right, that's dropped 3 to 4. So let's keep that in the back of our mind here. Now, let's look at this entire drawdown, right? This high here, like we said, November, this was after that little Trump pump there, matches this high right here, okay? So it's going to be whatever these fibs are, they're going to be pretty strong. We have 2 different ranges showing that high there and bringing us back down here to this low right there, all right? So we look up and we have some serious confluence here on the 4236 of this range and the 3618 of this broader range. I really like that as our ending target up here, right around like 79.80 cents. All right, that's where I'm looking for this wave 5 to get to here. And that's still a pretty good run from where we're at right now. Across the board on alts from where we're at, a lot of them, we're looking at like a 10x. This right here for Brett would be closer to a 16x if this were to play out. All right, looking over here, what did we say? Oh, I don't have it on here. The market cap of Brett right now, 479 million, ranked 116. And again, this asset hasn't been around a long time. We're under 2 years on Brett. So less data on these younger coins usually takes less liquidity for it to get going. I do think that this is very plausible that we get up there near that 79 cent level here for Brett. That's going to be my primary target. So that's where we have wave 5 going on this guy. Now, we want to talk about waves 3 and 4 and potentially where those could top out. A lot of times we're going to look to get above this last local high, and we can get up to like the 1618. And we see there's a couple different ranges here, somewhere between 30 and 36 cents. What I like based on where we're at right now, let's see. Look for this guy to get up here around that 31 cent level before it gets rejected, right? That would set a new high over these. It would get the market excited. It would bring a bunch of people in. Now, I will say it could end up stopping out low down here, and that's where we're going to have to be a little a little flexible as we move forward. We're planning this out weeks, months ahead of time. It's not easy to do, right? So we're going to have to take it with a grain of salt. And for the time being, we're saying that 31-cent level looks plausible. We then talk about how oftentimes we come back down to test these highs, right? And again, we're taking it from this wave 3 high here, okay? Actually, here we got to do this. Yeah, wave 3 high to the 4. Again, if we're including wicks, that's where there's also a little bit of ambiguity that comes into play here. So looking for wave 3 up to there. The drop on wave 4, typically 35 to 50%. Just coming back down into this level gives us about 35. But I will say something like this, especially in a meme, those typically get hit a little harder. We can see them a lot closer to the 50% level. So I like the 702 right here, right around 15 cents, 14.5 cents. You can see we had a lot of action get stopped out in that price level. You can also look right, let's say for now 16 is a nice round number. 16 cents, nice round support. I do see quite a few wicks that got stopped out right around the 786 here. So let's say that that's what comes in as our wave 4 support. But again, we have to be flexible. If it drops past that, we're going to be looking at these fibs to come in as supports. And again, if this stops out shy, well, then we're going to have to go back to the drawing board on wave 4 and see if it still makes sense there for wave 5. For the time being, though, this is how it looks, guys. We're waiting on a run up to 31 cents, drop back down to 16 cents, and then one final wave up around this 78-cent level. And we did see confluence up there between this range here and this macro range as well. Okay, so that's what I got for you. How would that look? Our wave 1 starting right here would be about 330% or a 4.3x. Wave 2 here, again, I don't know what that was. Looks like a liquidity or some kind of API issue. A 9x, right, for wave 3, currently where we're at, puts us at about a 6x. And then that final wave 5, if wave 4 were to drop down there, about 379%. You have waves 1 and 5 very similar in length, with wave 3 being the longest. Typically how these things move. So that's what we got for you for Brett. Again, I will keep you guys in the loop. If this wave 3 ends up stopping out shorter, we can go back to the drawing board. Additionally, we'll have more data there to see where we stop out. Let me see if I draw this down here. So full extension of this subwave 1 to 2 still gets us out there 27 cents, not too far off from that 30-cent level. So I really like that for this next move here, but we're going to have to wait and see what the markets give us, and we can adjust from there. So that's what we got for Brett, my friends. Like I mentioned, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 daily macro videos, a Discord channel, and I teach you how to do TA just like me. 10 years of experience, guys. Link to that in the bio. If not, super appreciative you're here. If you could follow, like, repost. I want to try to reach as many people as I can before it's too late. So hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. I'll talk to you later.